This video is about using the distributive property and combining like terms to simplify an expression. So first let's talk about the distributive property. The distributive property is going to use two operations. It's always going to use multiplication and then you're also going to either use addition or subtraction based on the signs. So the distributive property is used to simplify. So when there's a number or a variable outside of the parentheses, we're going to multiply inside the parentheses to get our result. So let's try some using the distributive property. So in number 1, there's a 5 outside the parentheses. We're going to distribute. So we're going to multiply both terms by 5. 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. These are not like terms, so we're going to leave it separate. Number 2, there's a negative 7 after the set of parentheses that we're going to distribute. So we're going to distribute negative 7 to both terms. So 3y times negative 7 is negative 21y, and 6 times negative 7 is minus 42. In number 3, it looks like there's nothing outside the parentheses, but there is this negative sign. Remember, if there's a negative sign, it's like having a negative 1. So we're going to distribute to negative 1 to each term. When you distribute a negative 1, all you're doing is changing the signs. So everything in parentheses was positive, now everything becomes negative. Number 4, the number outside of the parentheses is a 2. So we're going to distribute 2 to everything. So 2 times 6u is 12u. 2 times 4v is 8v. And 2 times negative 6w is negative 12w. In number 5, we're going to distribute a fraction of 2/5. So remember, when you're distributing a fraction, you can use your calculator. 5 times, make sure your fraction is in parentheses, 2 divided by 5. And when I multiply, I get 2. So I have 2q plus, and I'm going to multiply again, 10 times 2 divided by 5. And that gets us plus 4. Number 6, same thing. When I multiply by 4, I can either multiply by hand or I can use my calculator. So 4 times parentheses 6 divided by 5 gets us 4.8. Remember, do not write as a decimal, so hit math, enter, enter. So our fraction is 24 over 5x. And then 4 times parentheses negative 7 divided by 6. Decimal again, so math, enter, enter. Minus 14/3. Number 7 and number 8, now there's going to be variables outside of our parenthesis. So I'm going to distribute 7x. If I multiply and there's already a variable there that's the same letter, my exponent's going to increase. So 7 times 4 is 28, x times x. Because there's two x's, we add our exponents which have a 1. So this becomes x squared. 7x times negative 9 is just like we did above. So minus 63x. The exponent doesn't change here because 9 doesn't have a variable with it. In number 8, when I distribute 2w to each term, if the letters are not the same, if the variables are not the same, you're just going to write them next to each other. So in the first two terms, 2w times 6u, those are different letters. So I get 12uw. 2w times 4v gets us 8 VW or WV. It doesn't matter the order of your letters. The last one now, my W's are the same, so the exponent's going to increase. So 2 times negative 5 is negative 10 W squared. Because remember, if there's no exponent there, it means they have an exponent of 1. So 1 plus 1 would get us our 2. Write an expression modeling the area of the large rectangle as a product of its length and width. So remember that area of a triangle is equal to length times width. So in this case, we're going to do the area is equal to 12 times this whole side. So remember, this side has two pieces right now. It has a 3x and it has a 7. So we need to add those together so the side becomes 3x plus 7. So we have 12 times 3x plus 7. And then I'm going to distribute my 12. So area equals 36x plus 84. Now we're going to move on to combining like terms. So when combining like terms, you only combine terms that have the same variable or letter to the same exponent. So for example, if I'm looking at some of these, 4w and 3w are like terms because they both have w's. 6 and -2 are like terms because they're both just constants. In the next problem, the x cubes are the same. The number is different out front, but x cubed is what makes them like terms. So let's try simplifying by combining like terms. So number 10, we have 4x plus 9 minus 2x plus 4 plus 10. So first I'm going to start with my highest exponent or variable. There's no exponents, but I do have a variable of x. So those are going to combine together. 4x minus 2x is 2x. And then I'm going to combine my constants. 9 plus 4 plus 10. So 9 plus 4 is 13, plus 10 is 23. Now notice that x and a number are not like terms, so we're going to stop here. Number 11, 3x plus 9y minus 3y plus 4x minus 5y. So first I'm going to look at my x's. 3 plus 4 is 7x. Then I'm going to look at the y's. 9y minus 3y is 6y, minus 5y gets us plus y, or plus 1y. Number 12, 5g to the 4th plus 2f squared plus 6f squared minus 3g to the 4th. So g to the 4th are like terms, so 5 minus 3 gets us 2g to the 4th. Notice that the exponents are never changing, just the number or the coefficient out front. And then we have 2f squared plus 6f squared, which gets us 8f squared. Number 13, negative 6x plus 12xy plus 12y squared minus 2x plus 13xy plus 6y squared. So first I'm going to see my biggest exponent is the y squared. So 12y squared plus 6y squared gets us 18y squared. Notice again, the exponent does not change. We also have variables that just have x's. So negative 6x minus 2x is negative 8x. And last we have two terms that are xy. So 12xy plus 13xy gets us 25xy. Last, find the perimeter of the figure below. So when I'm doing perimeter, remember I'm adding all of the sides of my shape together. So x squared minus 3, we can pick any side to start. So I'm going to start over here and write them clockwise, just to make sure I don't forget anything. And then I can combine my like terms. So first I'm going to start with my larger exponent. So I have x squared and x squared. That becomes 2x squared. Then I have 4x minus x, which is 3x, minus x, which is now 2x, and then plus 4x. So I get 6x. And then I have my constants, negative 3 plus 9, which is 6, plus 6 is 12, minus 3 is 9, plus 6 is 15, plus 9 is 24. So then I have plus 24. Now let's do distributive property and combining like terms together. So first we need to distribute and then combine any like terms that we might have. So when I distribute, I'm going to multiply only to the parentheses. So 4 times x and 4 times negative 2, which gets us 4x minus 8 plus 13. Then I need to combine my like terms. So I have a 4x with nothing else to combine with. And then I have two constants. Negative 8 plus 13 gets us a plus 5. In number 16, this is where you have to be careful and it tricks some people. We're not distributing the 14 because 14 is not touching the parentheses. We're actually distributing just this negative that's touching the parentheses as a negative 1. So 14 plus 6x minus 1 minus 3x. Now I can combine like terms. 6x minus 3x gets us 3x. And 14 minus 1 gets us plus 13. Number 17, I'm going to distribute two things because there's two sets of parentheses. So the first set of parentheses, we're going to distribute a 5. So 5 times 2x is 10x minus 15. And distribute negative 2. So negative 2x squared minus 10. And then I'm going to combine like terms. So nothing combines with the x squared, so it stays as negative 2x squared. Nothing combines with the x, so it stays as 10x. And then I'm going to combine my numbers, or my constants, negative 15 and negative 10 gets us negative 25. Number 18, when I distribute, I have two things to distribute again. So I'm going to distribute a 7 into the first set of parentheses, 21w squared plus 14, and 4 into the second set, so plus 8w squared plus 20. And now I can combine like terms. So I have w squareds that are alike. 21 plus 8 gets me 29w squared. And I have constants that are alike. So plus 14 plus 20 is 34.